probably most of you I see here as Scrum Masters, product owners. Can I see any hands for any challenges that you have seen in organization? Basic challenges, I'm not asking big one. Any challenges that you would like to share for a minute? Anyone, you know? Team to be agile. Okay. 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 Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Bhuvanesh. Okay. Anyone? Okay. So they're asking you a date and say, I want by this date something to be delivered. Okay. Okay. From this table. Make everyone happy. It's a great challenge. Okay. All right. Good, good. One last one, because I want to see if we are awake. Okay. All right. Good. Yeah, no. Then I don't need the next slide. We have seen all the challenges. We have seen the critics. This image, somehow it's blurry. But, you know, the first thing it talks about is change. How many of you do like change? Change. Because there was a question somewhere, you know, probably at lunch, saying that, what do you do at a company? I said, we changes, and working with change is not so easy. Do you agree with me? Because people somehow, they have formed a circle among themselves. They don't like to change because they say everything is working fine. Why should I change? That's okay. But when you're going through a transformation, no, change is constant, correct? And then there are so many myths and misconceptions that you already have highlighted. I'm going to bring some of them here. I think maybe, sorry, there's a distance for the clicker that I should be here. Okay. The first criticism that we have, lack of predictability. People like to be delivered on a date and they would like to use Agile. Probably it will not work, right? And then they say it's not suited for all projects. If something is well documented, well defined, why do you need Agile? Why do you want to change the wheel? And they would like to, they don't like to collaborate with the clients, but they would like to have everything written on a contract or statement of work, and then they would like to work in Agile. No, sorry. And then probably they say there's a lot of overemphasis on individuals and interactions. Maybe, probably we heard, about these principles and values in the morning from Jeff as well, saying that what Agile is saying is that it's trying to have you a balance on processes and tools and individuals and interactions, right? And then probably the documentation concerns, which is again, probably people who are coming with a strict, I would say, regulatory backgrounds, they would have so many concerns on these things. Good. We can find out a list of challenges that we have, but let's move ahead, So what is Agile ecosystem? It starts with our base. It starts with, sorry for the clicker, okay, it was too fast. Maybe, sorry, I'll be here because there's a range which this clicker has. No, it doesn't work. It's not going back. Thank you. All right. The first thing is we know about the Agile Manifesto, right? And then we have heard about the popular frameworks. We all know Scrum. We know Kanban. We heard something new about SAFe. Every framework has got a purpose for which it's designed. And then we also want to move from manual builds. We want everything to be automated. We want everything to be delivered at a click of a button and all. And then recently, I had a requirement for a Scrum Master. And then probably the stakeholder said that, does your Scrum Master know Jira? Because I want him to be perfect in Jira. So, my friends, don't become definitely we need to have all those tools in places, because currently the way we are working, it's not that we are going to office and we are working in person everywhere. We need to have these tools, but don't become a victim of, don't become a Jira master, right? Because Scrum Master role is something different, and then Jira Master role is something different. So don't become a victim of these tools. And then, although I teach Scrum, I teach SAFe, I teach Scrum at Scale, all these frameworks, but I would say choose your certifications wisely. Don't become just a victim of, because people want to jump fastly. They say, They take a certification on Scrum Master as a base and say, in next 3 months, I want to become a coach. Right? Because I would say your experience matters, so choose, when you are choosing a certification, for whatever the purpose it is, choose it wisely, look at the real learning outcomes of those, probably of each of the certificates that you're going to provide. Just don't go next, right? And then the current industry landscape, I would say, is that there's a lot of emphasis on digital transformations. Organizations are putting a lot of energy on different digital initiatives. They're using AI, ML everywhere. And then with pandemic, we are working with a remote and hybrid model. There's a lot of, I would say, focus towards cybersecurity because with everything moving so fast on I would say the first thing on digital transformation, on the third one, there is a lot of focus because there's a lot of threat on cybersecurity. So there's a lot of emphasis on cybersecurity. Yep. This morning, I think we had multiple talks on AI and automation. There's a lot of move over there. Sustainability. On sustainability, I would say people, they would not just like to do a day training and say, we would like to do an implementation for 2 days. Organizations are now focusing on really having a sustainable model where they can say, when we do something, we want to sustain for a long time. So organizations are putting a lot of, I would say, emphasis on sustainability, where they are not looking just at development agility, they are looking at other broader chapters in the organizations. Health tech and probably telemedicines. With pandemic, it has taken a boom. Probably there is a lot of healthcare companies are coming up with new models because of the challenge that we have seen. And on e-commerce growth, my 4-year-old, at night 10:30 p.m. he says, I want a cake. I said, no, everything is closed. But he said, no, Papa, give your phone. Click on order. I would say there's a lot of growth on e-commerce because everyone wants to deliver at home. No one would like to go to Kirana shop and all. But yeah, these companies are moving fast. And we see a lot of EV cars, we see a lot of green initiatives and all. So the renewable energy companies are also doing a lot. So there's a focus on there. So this is the current landscape where I would say things are moving at fast. But someone would say, what does it matter for us? I would say that this morning also we heard that don't just be in your loop, also think of these things. Don't just say that I have done my Scrum Master certification, I'll just do my small things. No, think about these things where the industry is moving. And then you as a Scrum Master would have a lot of role to play in these industries as well. Apart from your probably typical IT development, these are the industries. Now, what's the future of Agile? I cannot predict the future with certainty, but I would say that I can highlight some of the trends and considerations that may probably shape the future of Agile. So this is again my perception. You may agree or not. So we can think about the different takeaways that we want to look. First thing, hybrid approaches. I'm not saying that combine Scrum with Ban and say Scrum Ban and some Ban. No. What I'm saying, what I'm trying to say here is that apart from your Agile practices or whatever you're doing, think about what is the value by combining other approach that I'm going to bring back to my organization, right? Because we ask a question, hey, how fast, probably there's a build in Amazon. Any question? How fast, or probably how frequent there is a build at Amazon? I heard 7 seconds. Is it? Yeah, you're closer. Every 4.5 seconds there's a build at Amazon. So what I'm trying to say here is that when you're doing an approach, you definitely would like to combine, when you're thinking about Scrum, you might want to think about automating your engineering practices, like bring in the DevOps culture, automate the engineering practices. Why not? Scalable solutions, framework. Probably we just heard about SAFe. There are many frameworks like Scrum at Scale, Safe, there are no less, that. Choose your framework wisely because these frameworks offer a lot of scalable solutions. Focus on customer experience. When you buy a Benz or BMW, what do you really buy? Which is your favorite car, my friend, on this table? Which is your favorite car? No, which is your favorite car? Car. Okay. And then, because I really do not know that car, which one was that? BYD, okay. And what's your dream car maybe? Tesla, okay. So what do you get from Tesla, right? When you walk into the showroom and all, you are really looking for that experience, correct? So about your product, when you are building that product, think about your customer experience. And then again, probably I'm emphasizing a lot on DevOps this day. So there is a lot of emphasizing on integration with the DevOps practices in the organization. Enhanced data-driven decision making. What does this mean by? I'm not saying that use your velocity or other metrics, right? So what I'm trying to say is that pull out metrics, those are outcome driven. Using those metrics that you can make some decisions in the organizations. Don't just stick to your velocity to kill the people, to choose the performance metrics and all. So you choose the metrics wisely. Or rather, I would say organizations are choosing the metrics wisely. Sorry, I had to go back because of the clicker. Okay. The evolution of agile leadership. We heard probably, did we heard servant leadership? Did we heard true leadership from this morning? Right? And then, from the challenges part, we heard about management, leadership, right? So, if those leaders don't change, right, the organizations in which the leadership is not changing, those organizations will not really sustain. So, there's a lot of focus on the agile leadership as well, and probably, I think there's a class on leadership from Jeff as well, right, in the coming week. So, leaders who focus on team, focus on motivating the team, who works toward a team, those organizations will only sustain. And definitely, the evolution of agile practices, what does it mean by? The practices that we are using, if we do not look at the trends, if we do not look at digital transformation, if we do not look at what really the customer wants and all, with our basic practices that we are doing, we will not really be able to sustain. And then definitely we need to integrate ourselves with the emerging technologies like AI, ML and all. But again, don't become a victim of the chat GPT because for whatever everything asking, I had a, probably in our company, what we call that, we had a writer, because we want to also give some probably what we want to give some presentations, we want to give some and all tool. And then I was paying a huge money to them. And someone said, no, I will do at this 1/10 of the cost. I said, wow, what's happened, And then I found out that from the talks that they were giving, they were just giving a query to ChatGPT and it was giving everything to them. And they were copying and pasting back. Do not, I would say, use these tools, but probably don't just trust them blindly, right? Good. And then finally, what do we need? We need a cultural transformation, correct? For everything to work. And what does culture mean? What does culture mean? How do we define the culture in the organization? Where does culture come from? People, okay. And one more level up. Team, okay, very good. The structure, right? Because, okay, process implementation. So the structure would define the culture. Back in probably 5 years back, I went in as a coach, and then they said, we want to release an application and all. I had to literally go from 7 tables to take a sign on a piece of paper to deliver something to production. That means there were layers, 7 layers sitting on top of us who would just sign that paper, and then only we can release the application. So that culture has to change. That structure really has to change for everything to happen. Do you agree with me? Good. Probably how much time do you have? 5 minutes? Okay, good. So, I'll not speak on this. Key takeaway. Do you think there were any key takeaways? From the back, was it really audible? Okay. Any takeaways do we have from what we discussed the last 20 minutes? So, is there a future for Agile? Yes. Okay, good. At least you are awake. All right. So, what should we focus on? What should we focus on? Yeah, there are a lot of emerging trends. Don't just stick to what you're doing, right? Good. Any questions that I can help answer in the next 2 to 3 minutes? Yes, my friend. So there's a question from Ahmad saying that he's in his organization or wherever, he's working. They're really asking for a date when this project could be delivered. If I was in their position, I would also ask me because I'm paying money. Good? Good. Okay. Fine. Logical. Okay. So the first thing is I would say, don't sell Agile to anyone. No. See, if I was you, I would not sell Agile to anyone. I would say that what are the challenges that you have in the organization? I would start from there. We'll come to your talk. I can answer this question in 30 seconds, but what I want to say is that talk to your probably boss or whoever it is, CEO or CXO, and say what are the challenges that you have in the organization. In the past, probably, when you're using your traditional methods, how many times have you seen something delivered on time? If he says, yes, everything was delivered on time, then I would say everything is working perfectly fine here. We don't need to implement Agile here. But if he says, no, we failed 5 times. All right, very good. We have failed 4 or 5 times. Then what do you think are the top challenges that you have? Then, if you think that the solution that you are recommending from Agile, by changing the ways of working, has a solution to it, then try recommending them the practices. And I know, probably, maybe what I would say is that, I just gave you a gist of it, but if you need more information, you can connect me on LinkedIn, we can have a 1-hour chat on this, and I can, give an in-depth solution. But to give a gist of to you, talk to your leadership and say how many times did they deliver earlier, before Agile. Did they deliver on time? If they deliver on time, we don't have issue. We will follow blindly what they're doing. But no, then recommend them some changes. Thank you. Okay, I can take one more last question because I just have 1 minute. How do we bring this change? Okay, so I think there was my other topic called changemakers. Probably it didn't got selected this time, but this topic called changemakers. Who do we call changemakers? Should we call Scrum Master only as a change maker? Everyone is a change maker, correct? Everyone could be a change maker. So what would our role be when we go back to organization, and immediately you may not get probably meeting with your CXO or CEO or whoever leadership. So grab a small opportunity with them. Okay, grab a small opportunity with them and try to do small little things that they could believe in you. See. Okay, there you go. I'm not saying poison, but yeah. Okay, do small changes that they can believe in you. Okay, good. Thank you all. Thank you.